I'm Maddie.
And I'm Yulia.
And we are Tesla Teens Exploring Science with a live audience. We are named after Nikola Tesla, a scientist that helped give us a better understanding of electricity. Hang on. This is a giant Tesla coil that's on display at the Museum of Science and Industry.
We are science achievers from the Community Initiatives team at the Museum of Science and Industry. This is a science education show every Wednesday at 5 p.m.
This season of Tesla, we're going to be talking about the science of really cool things we just couldn't live without.
Will we be talking about ice cream? Ice cream is really cool, and I just can't live without it.
I wish we were talking about ice cream, but unfortunately, we're not. Why don't you give it another go?
Okay, let me think for a sec.
Okay.
Cool, can't live without it.
Mm-hmm.
Sunglasses make me look cool, and I can't live without them on a sunny day.
Well, true, that is unfortunately also not our topic. Here, let me give you a hint. These really cool things grow really, really tall, and they live for a very, very long time.
Okay, these things grow really, really, really tall and live for a very long time.
Yep.
Trees. Trees grow really tall, and my grandparents have a tree in their backyard that's over 100 feet tall. Wait, years old.
That's okay. Yes, we'll be discussing the science of trees. And we definitely couldn't live without trees because they produce the oxygen we breathe in order to survive.
Trees provide shelter for birds and animals, and also provides food for them to eat.
Did you know there are two types of trees, Yulia?
Let me see if I can remember. There's one that loses its leaves during the winter and fall, and that's called deciduous trees?
You're absolutely correct. The second kind of tree is called a coniferous tree. They hold their green leaves throughout the year, even as the seasons change, which is why they're commonly called evergreen trees. They're green all year round. Oh. Most evergreen trees actually have leaves that look like needles.
Like a Christmas tree.
We should show our audience some beautiful images of our really cool trees.
I think we should.
Okay, hang on. Here we go, and oh my gosh. Okay, my apologies. Okay.
So, on one side of the tree, there's leaves, and on the other side, there aren't leaves.
This is actually a diagram of a deciduous tree. This would show the tree during the winter months, and this shows the tree during the summer and spring. Switching gears, we're going to show off a coniferous tree.
Oh, well, it looks like it's warm out.
This is a coniferous tree during the summer, as you can see from the background. And switching gears yet once again, we have some coniferous trees in the winter.
And they still have their leaves.
Yep, they're still green, as their name implies, evergreen trees, albeit a darker color. Okay. Today, we'll be talking about the giants.
Giants? I thought we were talking about trees, coniferous trees.
Yeah, we are talking about coniferous trees, but these mighty giants are called Sequoia trees. They're one of the oldest living things on Earth. The oldest known sequoia is actually 3,500 years old. And this is based on the number of tree rings counted.
Oh, well, do we have any cool images of these sequoia trees?
Yes, I do, and I'm very excited to show them with our viewers. Okay, one moment, please. Let me flip this around. There we go. Alrighty.
This tree looks really tall.
Here's a sequoia tree bathing happily in the sunlight during the summer. And here is some sequoia trees during the winter time. Notice anything?
They still have their leaves. Sequoia trees are surely coniferous trees because they are still green, because they still have their green leaves in the winter months.
Hey Yulia, did you know that sequoia trees are the tallest living things on Earth?
How tall are they?
Oh, the tree located in the Redwood National Park in California stands over just 379 feet.
I can't even imagine how tall that might be.
Well, how convenient that I have a diagram to help show comparison here.
Wow.
There we go.
So The Sequoia Tree is taller than the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, and it's taller than the Statue of Liberty in New York, and taller than the Big Ben in England. You know, that was really mind-boggling.
It is, and there's still more to learn after this break.
This is a silver maple leaf. This is a northern red leaf. This is the northern red oak leaf. This is the honey locust.
This is a Norway maple leaf.
This is a black walnut leaf.
Hi, I'm Amir.
And I'm Ariel.
We're back and ready to talk about tree science.
So, Amir, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the foundation of the tree, the roots.
I see you brought a diagram to share with our viewers.
Let's talk about the different parts of the tree and what they do, beginning with the roots.
The roots are an important hidden part of the tree. They grow underground and support the tree. They also absorb water and provide nutrients from the soil.
The roots lead us up to the next part of the tree called the trunk. The trunk transports water from the soil water and nutrients from the soil to the rest of the tree. This outer part of that you see here is called the bark. It protects the tree from fire, insects, and weather.
It's like a tough protective covering. The trunk then divides into branches and twigs with the leaves attached to the ends of twigs. I know what leaves are for. They collect sunlight to make food for the tree. Using sunlight and the carbon dioxide in the air, the leaves make food for the tree and releases oxygen into the air for us to breathe.
Not to get off topic, but how did they determine the age of the oldest living sequoia tree?
Let's bring our focus to the trunk of the tree. The method they use is called tree ring counting. As a tree grows, rings form on the inside.
Wow, so these are the tree rings of a sequoia tree trunk?
That's right. Those rings are counted to give us the age of the tree. There are two methods to observe the number of rings to count. You can count the number of rings exposed on the surface after cutting the tree down.
Unfortunately, that tree will no longer be around for our enjoyment.
As you see here in this diagram, this tree has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rings, meaning that it is 8 years old.
But there's another way to see and count tree rings without cutting down the tree, using an instrument that takes a core sample from deep inside the tree. The instrument makes a small hole in the tree to take a core sample. Here you can see this instrument in action, taking a sample of a tree trunk. The instrument is then removed along with the core sample, showing the exposed tree rings. Here you can see that this tree has 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 15 rings.
That means that since this tree has 15 rings, it is 15 years old. Wow, so that sequoia must have had, since it was 3,500 years old, it must have had 3,500 rings.
Yes, we've covered a lot.
And we'll cover more after this break.
These are a few of our favorite. These are a few of our favorite trees.
This is the baobab tree. It is located in Africa and commonly found in Madagascar. I like it because it has a unique shape.
This is the purple wisteria tree. It's located in the eastern United States, China, Korea, and Japan. This is my favorite tree because I love the color purple. This is one of my favorite trees. The wind-blown trees of Slow Point, New Zealand. I like the wind-blown trees because they look
Hey guys, we're back. I'm Alex,
I'm Kelsey.
and we're ready to talk about some more tree science.
Hey Alex, let's look at some more physical features of the sequoia tree. And as always, we brought super cool images to show you.
Sure thing, Kelsey. Let's take a look at them. All right, let me adjust this here. What do we have here? What we have here is an image showing a group of sequoia trees in a grove. The crown of the sequoia tree starts out as a spired shape, as we have here, spired shape. And as they mature, they flatten out and become dome-shaped. See? Dome-shaped.
Yeah. And its leaves, as seen from this image, are a bluish green color and shaped like needles,
Wow.
just like a pine tree.
It is just like a pine tree. It's really pretty.
Yeah. And speaking of pine trees, we know that pine trees have pine cones, but do sequoia trees have cones?
Absolutely, Kelsey. And let's take a look at them.
Hey Alex, how come this one's green and this one's brown?
Sure thing. Yeah, so what happens is young trees start to bear cones at the age of 12 years old. Typically, they remain green for 20 years, and when they mature, they turn brown. So what we have here is an unripe cone, and what we have here is a ripe cone.
Oh. And inside the cone, there are seeds that grow into future sequoia trees.
Yeah, let's look at them. Here is a picture of its winged seeds.
Wow, look how tiny they are.
Yeah, it's incredible how something so small can grow into something so massive.
Did you know that hot air from a forest fire dries and opens the cones, releasing the seeds?
No, I didn't know that.
Seeds can also be released with the help of two animals, a longhorn beetle, and it lays its eggs on the cone, then its larvae bores or digs holes into the cone, allowing the seeds to escape.
That's really cool. The other animal would be a squirrel, right? And it gnaws or eats the scales off the cone and it helps release the seeds. Wait a minute. Let's go back. Did you just say that sequoia trees are fireproof?
Yep, the bark contains a substance that makes it fire resistant.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we'll be back with more tree science after the break.
All right.
This is a silver maple leaf. This is a northern red leaf. This is the northern red oak leaf. This is the honey locust.
This is a Norway maple leaf.
This is a black walnut leaf.
Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Taylor.
and we're back, and we've learned a lot of cool tree science, especially about the sequoia tree.
We have.
How about we have a little trivia challenge based on what we learned today?
I like the idea, Sarah. I say game on, but first, let's set up some rules.
Good idea. We want to be on the same page. So how about the game works by us asking each other questions, and if you get it right, you get a leaf on your tree.
Look at that.
And if I get one right, I get a leaf on my tree.
Okay.
And whoever has the most leaves at the end will be the winner.
Okay, Sarah, I got it. I say game on. Let's do this.
All right, so since I came up with the idea to play the game, how about I start with a question?
Let's go.
All right, Taylor, name the type of tree that loses its leaves in the fall or winter months.
Sarah, that's an easy question. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in the fall or winter months.
I'm sorry, Taylor, but you are absolutely correct.
Sarah,
All
that
right,
wasn't
so
cool.
here goes a leaf on the Taylor tree.
All right,
All right.
Sarah. Since you asked me a question, I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
Name the type of tree that's green even in the winter.
Tree that has green leaves, even in the winter.
Tough question.
Well, we talked about two types of trees,
We did.
deciduous and coniferous trees. So coniferous trees must be the trees that keep their leaves in the fall or winter. And I know that a sequoia tree is a type of evergreen tree.
You're right, Sarah.
Alright, ooh, I get to put a leaf on my tree.
Ew.
Alrighty.
This might be harder than I thought.
Yeah, okay, so I think we're ready for your next question. What part of the tree makes food from sunlight?
The tree makes food. Another easy question. What part of the tree makes food from sunlight? The leaves of the tree make food from sunlight.
Alright, you got that one. Okay, I'm ready for
winning,
my
guys.
question now.
I'm winning. All right. Let's turn this up a notch, Sarah. Let's make this harder.
Okay, I'm ready. I was born ready.
We know trees absorb carbon dioxide, right?
Okay.
And release what important gas into the air?
Trees absorb carbon dioxide and release an important gas in the air. Oh, that gas is oxygen. And that oxygen that's released is necessary for us to live.
Sarah, you're correct.
Alrighty.
Oh, look at that.
Another leaf for me.
Okay, all right.
All
Give
right.
me my question, Sarah, so I can win this.
Okay. Taylor, can you describe the shape of a leaf from a sequoia tree?
Okay, we learned this. Describe the shape of a leaf from a sequoia tree.
It's harder than you thought, isn't it?
Oh, I remember now. It's bluish green in color and needle-like.
You are correct. There we go.
I'm gonna win this.
Oh, yeah, it's 3-2. I really gotta get my act together.
Well, you know what, Sarah? Just because of that, I'm gonna give you another question.
Okay.
What is the shape of the crown of a mature sequoia tree?
The shape of the crown of the mature sequoia tree.
Were you paying attention, Sarah?
I was paying attention,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Just asking.
And I remember that the initial shape of the crown of a sequoia tree is spired, but the mature tree is dome-shaped.
All right, Sarah, you're correct. That was a good answer.
I'm going with, 2 leaves because I gave you 2 facts there.
Sarah, you created the game rules, so I think 1 is just enough.
Okay, fair enough.
Trying to take my crown from me.
It's been my crown from the start.
Just give me my question, Sarah.
All right. This is your last question, Taylor.
All right, I'm gonna get it right.
Name a way seeds are released from the sequoia tree.
From the sequoia cone, is it?
Yes. Thank you for that.
It's okay. It's okay,
Yeah.
Sarah. Well,
How are they
since
released
that,
from the sequoia cone?
I do remember that. It was a really cool fact that we had learned, wasn't it?
It was a pretty cool fact.
I believe it was the hot air from forest fires dries out the cone, and that's how the seeds are released.
Oh, you are correct, and that is quite the fact. So
Look at that. I got all my
you have
questions right.
1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 1, 2, 3. I don't get this right. I've lost the game.
I have the pleasure of giving the last questions.
All right.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. What is so very special about the bark of a sequoia tree?
What is special about the bark of the sequoia tree?
Dun dun dun. Hard question.
You're right, that is a hard one. Oh, what's special about the bark of the sequoia tree? Oh, I remember. The bark contains a fire-resistant substance, so it can survive forest fires.
You're correct, Sarah.
Ooh, all right. There's my final point. Let's count up the scores.
All right, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 for me. We tied?
We tied.
We tied? What?
I was sure I won.
I know I was supposed to win. I knew all the questions. Well,
I guess this means we tied now, Sarah.
yeah. Well, good game.
Good game. We had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun.
And yeah, this is the end of our show. We are Tesla from MSI, a science education show every Wednesday at 5 p.m.
And we hope to see you next week with more exciting tree science.
See you then.